All right, everybody, here we go. Time to start the show. Hello. Hello. It's warm. Did you guys notice? It's hot. It's hot. All next week, it's going to be in the hundreds. Huh? Everyone makes fun of me first, third, and fifth Tuesdays. Who's laughing now? Huh? It'll be 100 next week. You're welcome. This is my gift to you. It's so fucking hot. I'm uncomfortable. I spent an entire year cultivating a personality where I go up and down the stairs the entire show. All winter. What an idiot. Tonight, what a genius. Heat rises. I'm downstairs checking with the bartender, but I'm still paying attention. So smart. Maybe revealing too much about myself. Hello, Louie. Welcome to the show. Guys, the next show will be my 36th birthday. Thanks, I guess. Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to be here. I might get someone to host for me. I'll probably be here. I'm just so grateful. I was starting to feel old. And then a couple days ago, we started a new Middle Eastern war, so I feel like I'm a young kid again. I'm like, all right, we're back in the Middle East, everybody. That's exciting. I'm so glad that we're at war with Iran. Some people say we're not at war with Iran. They say Israel's at war with Iran, which is sort of a convenient way to think about it because all of the planes and weapons are ours, and we have to give them authorization to use them. So, like, if you kill my sister with a ray gun, I blame you. But if I find out J.D. Novelli loaded it and then turned it on for you, I also blame J.D. Novelli. And I don't care if you're not officially at war with me, J.D. Fuck you, you killed my sister. And then if, like, I try and respond by throwing a punch at you, J.D. Novelli's off, like, deflecting all of my punches. I'm like, well, fuck you, J.D. You're getting it too, goddammit. That's my opinion on the war that we're currently not in. Although, frankly, I haven't been on Twitter in 2 hours. We might be in it now. I don't know. That's the fun thing about war. There's a lot of people here tonight, actually, who will declare that they're self-diagnosed autism. I love that, because it's a medical thing. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Nobody has self-diagnosed cancer. And I was like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like my bones are rotting. I have self-diagnosed cancer. Cancer is like, or not cancer, I'm sorry. Autism is like, it's too wide of a description for things, right? Like, autism can be like a crippling, nonverbal, like you need help for the rest of your life thing, or you could be really into production Toyota models between 1991 and 1995. And that's too big of a range. And no one ever says, hey, I'm a self-diagnosed autistic person. I just shit my pants and I'm screaming at them all. It's a really subtle way of being like, actually, I'm a genius. It'd be smug to call myself a genius, so I'll just tell you, I have a neurological disorder. I've self-diagnosed I'm autistic. I don't think we should be calling really smart people autistic. That's just me. I think we should just call them, because they don't have social cues, so they qualify as autistic. So my new suggestion is we call them smart but rude, which is a totally acceptable category. We don't need and maybe people won't self-diagnose themselves as smart but rude. Autistic people, self-diagnosed autistic people love to say that animals understand them, that no one else gets them, but animals understand them, which is pretty fucking presumptive. You don't know that. Maybe dogs hate your fucking stories too. Maybe you just don't know how to read facial cues of dogs. You are autistic after all. Or maybe the dog has autism and he just can't convey the right facial expressions. That's how he expresses it. All right. Drop that last part, I guess. I was driving down the road the other day with my wife. This is true. We're driving down the road in Midlothian. And we're driving down, I'm looking out the window, she's driving, and I see an emu. And I'm like, emu? And my wife goes, what? Oh, emu, the 6-foot-tall, 130-pound bird that's native to Australia, closest living relative to the velociraptor. Sorry, I'm optimistic about emus. And my wife said, no, there wasn't. And I said, turn the car around. Turn the car around. There's no way I just imagined a 6-foot-tall bird. She turns the car around, I go, emu! And she goes, huh. And I'm like, you must have not seen the emu. So good thing we have to turn the car around again to go back where we're going to your friend's house. Turn the car around, emu. And this time I make her slow down and she looks, she goes, oh yeah, look at that. wife has never fucked with me more than that. So, we're in Virginia. There's a fucking emu on the side of the road. Just like it's a guy's house. And she's like, oh, okay. And so we go to a party with all of her friends, and I'm talking to her friends, and I'm like, we saw an emu on the way here, and they're like, oh, interesting. You're right, it is interesting. You already followed quiet? There's a fucking emu on the side of the road in Virginia. And I was like, ah, that's fine. I found out 2 days later, my wife texted all of her friends in advance and said, don't rile them up about the emu. I don't know what kind of fucking reputation I have with her friends. Did everyone be like, oh, someone saw an emu on the side of the road? Don't want to rile them up. I'll go along with that. And I should be pissed at my wife, but honestly, I'm kind of relieved. Because I thought I was at a party full of people who found out there was an emu just a mile and a half up the road, and were like, oh, interesting. I don't care that it's a 130-pound bird, the closest living relative to the velociraptor, walking free a mile and a half away. Turns out it belongs to a place called the Cuddle Menagerie. It's the closest living relative to the velociraptor, and it belongs at the Cuddle Menagerie. Don't fucking cuddle there. That's what I've learned. It's a 130-pound bird. All right, moving on. I'm a big fan of stuck porn. You guys know what stuck porn is? I live a stuck porn lifestyle. Stuck porn is it's a porn where a woman gets stuck somewhere, and then she's free use, which means you can do whatever you want to her. That's the life I live, and I like to remind my wife that we're Catholic, and she's stuck in this marriage. So it's true, we're Catholic. Some people can't believe I'm Catholic. All right, what do I want to end with here? Guys, let me finish with an oldie but a goodie here. Molestation? Call me crazy, but I'd like less molestation, huh? Come on, everybody. Come on. I'm a feminist. Now, there is going to be some molestation. There are 7 billion people on the planet, but I want you to know that I am not involved in the molestation. Yes, I did put everyone on the bus, and I did free their hands to grope whatever they wanted, but I am not involved in the molestation. That's an Iran war callback, everybody. Yeah, no, it's for real. You guys ready to start the show? All right. Guys, it's a hot show. I mean that both in the terms of it's going to be fun, but also it's hot up here. Make sure you have some water. It's free. If you need drinks, go on downstairs and get them at the bar. If you order food, they will bring it up to you. Are you guys ready for your very first comedian of the night? All right, I want a little more than that, because your very first comedian of the night is a guy who still wears a hoodie in this heat. Everybody put your hands together for a man who is slowly melting to death. It's Ben Pierce. Your next comic coming to the stage. This person defended the country. I don't know what the hell J.D. Novelli does. J.D. Novelli is the only person in this bar dare be told to stop laughing so much because they're knocking stuff off downstairs. Everybody, while they were beating their cane against the ground instead of laughing out loud, which is how an old rich guy laughs at an auction. I don't care for it. Anyways, put your hands together for the Trans Monopoly Man, everybody. It's J.D. Novelli.
How wonderful set,
Yes, I think I will, old chap. Also, Jacob, I want to refute your accusation from earlier. I wasn't aiming for your sister specifically. There were a lot of sisters in that general area. Shit happens. I don't know, though. I was trying not to take that a little too personally, but it's just that when I was in high school, I was voted most likely to be a member of the mafia. And I thought that was just like, you know, like an ethnic thing. It's like, oh, there's one Italian kid in school, ha. But then I saw a picture of what I look like in a suit. I look like my last name should be Ice Pick. I can't do an office job because I just picture everyone imagine the conversation with me is like, hey, these accounting figures, they're not adding up. Capricorn there. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell from the shirt, I'm very excited that's Pride Month. Because the gays can do whatever they want for another week and a half. And then we go back to being criminals in 72 countries and parts of Texas. But I think it's important that I, rep the merch a little bit. Not only because I have pride in who I am, but also it's my home security system. I live in a very rough neighborhood, so I like to wear a cool shirt when I go out. They're like, well, we can't beat up that guy. He's wearing a cool shirt. And also, I'm just terrified people are going to think that I'm straight. So, yeah. Is anyone going to make that mistake? Don't answer that question. I've been told I look like I'm into trains. Which I am, just not the kind you're thinking of. People talk about religion earlier. Ben, you said you were Jewish. Is Ben still here? Did he rejoin his flock? Well, he said he was Jewish, if I remember correctly. I was raised Catholic. I converted to Scientology. As I decided, hey, this 2,000-year-old institution that's predicated around men with dresses telling you that you can't have sex, it's not weird enough. But then I was like, I don't know. These Scientologists are a little crazy. I'm going to pick a sane religion. I'm going to worship whatever it is that Mexican drug dealers worship. Which I realize is not helping with the mafia accusations. I'm in a good mood, though. I'm in a good mood. I recently had my birthday the other week. I just turned 38. As I turned 38, and I came out as a trans woman 6 years ago. So, second puberty is going great, if you can't tell. I don't know, though. It's like, because I know what I look like. I started out looking like a low-level mafiosi, and now I just look like a low-level mafiosi with man tits. But I take the small victories, It's like, I feel it like, whenever like a nice old lady says, oh, I love your hair, or, someone says, hey, let's go to the girls' room and, have some talk, or a man tells me that I need to smile more. But if I ever start doubting that I'm a woman, truly, in my heart, I remember this. I love true crime, and I do not understand men at all. Yeah, but I did have to come to an important realization, because a lot of you here know me personally. I talk about sucking dick a lot. But when I came to terms with my gender identity, it's like, I think I might actually be a lesbian who just happens to like sucking dick. It's confusing, I know. But it's like, what sort of a lesbian do I want to be? Because there's like this whole panoply, and I'm thinking about it, and ultimately I have to go back to what I learned in the United States Army. Because when I was in the Army, I was a combat lifesaver. You got shot in the throat, I was the person who kept you alive till the medic got there. And there was this acronym that they made us memorize to keep you alive. It was RBBS FBHS. And the way you remember that is really big boobs should fit both hands. So I said, that's the kind of a lesbian that I want to be. But who's a bad example of a lesbian you shouldn't want to be is our host, Jacob McFadden. Get back up here, sir.
What the fuck's going on? Everybody's taking shots at me tonight. I got too many kids. I'm a lesbo. Like, what the hell? I'm a good guy.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. That guy is friends with my sister-in-law, and that's our only connection.
Not the bathroom?
Oh yeah, this guy once offered to give me a hand job while he was passed out drunk in a urinal at Baja Bean Company. But I was going to stop bringing that up since I found out you're friends with my sister-in-law. All right, let's keep things moving along. You're next. By the way, Jay, I don't know if J.D. Novelli said that they were the one Italian kid in school. That's what they took away from you, everybody. There used to be schools with only one Italian in them. I'm a good guy. Your next comic is probably Italian. I don't know. These swarthy people. This is actually just coming off as racist if no one laughs. I don't know. Your next comic probably pays his bills in spaghetti. Put your hands together for Seph Smith.
Give me the gabagool. So we're at war again. I know. I feel the same way as you guys do. Stoked. We have no access to health care or affordable living, but we get to blow people up, so that's pretty rad, if I was the president, I would invade other countries all the time, but I wouldn't blow them up. I would team our Navy SEALs and other special forces with the cast of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. We would invade in the cover of night, and we would just make their town fabulous. And then they would come out the next day, and they'd be like, I wouldn't have thought purple, but it works. You know? A lot of people are getting deported. They say that they're sending rapists and murderers to our country. I get it. You know, who wants that? And if you look at a timeline of American history, you can clearly see that there was none of that until we had restaurants that sold pupusas. So my dad, he's about to turn 86. He turns 86 tomorrow. So hopefully he doesn't die or he'll be 86 for real. But he's pretty homophobic. I've tried to have conversations with him about gay rights, things like that. He always makes a face like he's grossed out, you know. And one day I asked my dad, I was like, you know, do you think gay people are born gay or do you think they choose to be gay? And he was like, I think they choose it. And I was like, why do you say that? And he was like, well, you know these people. They don't have a lot of friends and they don't get picked on sports teams, so they just decide to be gay. And I was like, well, Dad, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and I definitely wasn't picked for a lot of sports teams, and I didn't find not sucking dick to be an exercise in restraint. But my dad, for as homophobic as he is, he'll say some things sometimes that are just phrased peculiarly. And one time he was talking about a hot pepper that he ate that he found in his Chinese food, and he goes, man, I'll tell you, that was the hottest little bastard I'd ever had in my mouth. I was like, do you have a lot of little bastards in your mouth? Another time, my parents were over. I was going to cook them up some steaks, and I had all the steaks on this tray, and they were seasoned up, ready to go on the grill. My dad was just standing in the kitchen looking kind of confused. I was like, Dad, what are you doing? He was like, well, I'm just standing here slobbering on your meat. I said, I will call the fucking police. You stop it. But my dad, you know, he'll say like he's homophobic, but then he'll say all these kind of gay stuff, and basically he's DMX. I don't know if you guys ever listened to DMX. You guys ever heard the song Where the Hood At? With a hood, with a hood, with a hood at. It's a catchy song. But if you listen to what DMX says in that song, he starts the song off with this very homophobic tirade. He says, I show no love to homo thugs. Then he says, how you gonna explain fucking a man? Even if we squash the beef, I ain't touching your hand. So he won't even touch their hand. But later, in the same song, he says, I know your style's pussy because I'm fucking it. Since we're all here, you hold my dick while he's sucking it. He went from being anti-gay to being in a gay threesome in the same song. If I walked into a room and I saw Mr. X standing there with his penis out and another man holding it, feeding it into another man's mouth, I don't think I'd be thinking to myself, I walked into a 2/3 gay situation. I would just close the door and say, sorry, Mr. X. So anyway, for my dad's 86th birthday, I got him a do-rag and a Rough Riders chain. So thanks, guys. That's my time.
Keep going with Seph Smith, everybody. Or don't. I like the one of you just went, that was good. If you could say that a little louder, but just for one other comic tonight. Just leave the rest of them guessing. Make sure they deliver everything straight to you. All right. I think you're going to love your next comic. Your next comic, we don't get him here that often. He's too busy performing. Ever since January, his schedule's been full, everybody. Put your hands together for the #1 MAGA comedian in the country, the big, beautiful Chuck.
Yeah. Home sweet home. Oh my God. This is caught already. Okay, I'm going to tell a story. That's a terrible way to start, but I was at a dinner a couple weeks ago. I was at this Italian restaurant, and there's this guy who's like sitting at the other table, and he's like this old man. He keeps looking over at the table. He's looking at me, then he's like looking at my girlfriend. Like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. This guy keeps looking. I don't know if there's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna have to beat up an old man. And then this guy, he goes, Sir, I won't say what race he is, but he had an accent, and I won't say the race, so you don't know if I'm being racist. He went, Sir, you look like J.D. Vance. I was like, oh, okay, and then he toasted me. He was like, to Mr. Vance, he like toasted me. That's like true. I'm like, well, what a weird thing to toast someone for. Is you look like the assistant president. That's stupid. And it's not the first time I heard it. I know I look like J.D. Vance. I hate it because I always wanted to look like a celebrity. My whole life, I felt like I never looked like any famous person, and now I look like the shittiest one. Like, he's not even shitty in a funny way. Like, if I look like Trump is shitty, but he's funny, right? Or like but J.D. Vance, he just sucks. He doesn't even. I have a weirder voice than he does, so it's like I can't even be an impersonator of him. I don't know. It's But the one thing I do know is if I was vice president, this is the first law I'm making. The Whopper automatically comes with cheese, okay? And if you don't want cheese, then you gotta say some extra shit, okay? I'm tired. This is the biggest problem in my life. I go to Burger King, I order a Whopper, I forget to say with cheese. They give me a fucking Whopper with no cheese. Fuck you! Because this is the biggest problem in my life. My favorite food, cheeseburgers. My least favorite food, hamburgers. That's the biggest thing I'm dealing with. I call it the white man's burden. It's the biggest problem on my plate. I don't like getting political. I don't like getting political, but these are political times. This is, the only political opinion I have is that you should be able to kill somebody if they make more money than you. But only if they're the same race as you. Like, I'm not going to kill a rich black guy. That's fucked up. But if you're a white guy and you make $46,000 a year, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. I'm going to take all your money. I don't know. It's like a video game. He dropped a health pack. I don't know. Yeah, that's bad. When I was a kid, I thought you could just, like, if you got shot, you just had to grab, like, a white box with a cross on it, and you'd be healthy. It's more complicated than that. Hell yeah. When I was in first grade, there was a rumor that the gym teacher was sexy. Now, some of you guys are like, how is that a rumor? It's a rumor because me and about 7 or 8 6-year-old boys would whisper into each other's ear, Mr. Smith is sexy. And we just pass it around. That's how it's a rumor. I started the rumor. Because I didn't know what sexy meant, but my favorite song was I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt. And the guys who sing that are these strong, bald guys. So I just thought that's what sexy meant, was like a strong, bald guy. So in retrospect, what I think the actual rumor was I told somebody I think Mr. Smith is sexy, and then they told everybody else, Charlie thinks Mr. Smith is sexy. I don't know, they're all laughing. I don't get it, I'm 6. I'm like, I'm crushing. This rules. Then I go home, I tell my parents, I'm like, Mr. Smith is sexy. They're like, did he tell you that? I'm like, he didn't tell me that, but he's just so strong, I noticed. I noticed how strong and bald he was, and I was like, that's sexy. All right, thanks, guys. My name's Charlie Waring. Let's give it up for Jacob.
Well, that's it, guys. That was the last one you had for the night, so the rest of you on your own. Big Chuck, everybody. Give it over to Charlie Waring. Now, your next comic, let me tell you a quick story. Friday night, I'm walking down the street in Richmond with my wife, and I see your next comic on the side of the road, and what comes out of her mouth, and her friends, she's with 2 of her friends, they say, hey, it's Home Sweet Home. And then one of her friends says, I thought he lived there. Which was interesting. So I introduced myself, I introduced my wife, said my wife is a PhD, I said Dr. McFadden. And then one of her friends goes, Doctor, how does she end up with a Nazi? To my face. And then her two friends go, she and her two friends, she knows who said it, go, whoa, not cool. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then one of them goes, not in front of his wife, which like takes away from all of it immediately. Yeah, it was on your porch. Which takes away from it immediately, like not in front of his wife, like you call him a Nazi to his face, but not in front of his wife, come on. She's innocent in all this. And then the worst part, I didn't say anything, and one of them goes like, just don't. She goes, well, everyone says it. I thought it was just the bit. It's like, I didn't know that. Then we get in the car 3 minutes later, I turned to my wife and said, did you hear that? They just all called me a Nazi? And she was like, no. It's like, cool. Do you guys feel awkward? That's how I felt having a nice night at a gay couple's anniversary party and they being called a Nazi. Anyways, your next comic is a Nazi. Put your hands together for Fraulein Phipps.
I'm the only comic that still likes Jews.
That's not the first time this week someone said the wrong name. Dun dun. Okay, I was the girl in school that dated all the gay boys. Can anybody relate? Okay, well, lucky me. For a while I thought about becoming a reverse conversion therapist because I was so good at turning people gay. I get that trait from my dad. Thank you. My parents were married for 20 years, and my mom was just like, I'm a lesbian, and now they're divorced. I have the gay gene from my mom, though. I also have this thing called dyslexia, where I'm not really good with letters and reading. You know, I moved to Richmond a couple years ago, and I wanted to find something to do, so I went out to join the LGBT club. I joined the BLT club. Instead, I got avocados instead of advocates. I wanted a safe space, but they're talking to me about tangy paste. I was searching for hot dykes, but I found Dukes, like the mayonnaise. I fucking hate mayonnaise. Disgusting. Do you guys miss Brat Summer? Brat Summer! No one misses Brat Summer. Cool. That's just for me. I have a proposal. I think we should be told what to do again this summer. So I was thinking we could do Rat Summer, Hat Summer, Fat Summer or Flat Summer, Scat Summer, Skiddly Beep Up. Or we could all buy a gun. I call that brat summer. I like men like I like toilets. Right? Lid shut, ready to be sat on. I prefer them not to be full of shit, but they normally are. I have IBS. I be sad. I be sad about my taste in men. I love a rugged boy. Maybe a little stinky. Maybe it might give me a little yeasty infection. Give him a sourdough starter. I realized this when I was on Hinge a couple days ago. I always swipe right when a guy has a cigar in his mouth. Disgusting. So douchey. One time I was hooking up with this guy and he was like, your pink vape is gay. There's a chode hanging out of your mouth right now. The cigar looks like a chode. I can't please a woman. So amen. So that's why I stick with the boys. I had a dream I was hooking up with Sabrina Carpenter, and she just told me I was doing bad. I can't even please a woman in my dreams. This is ridiculous. Do you guys know how they refer to blowjobs as giving neck? Now you do. They do, and I always thought it was like, oh, my dick is so big, it's going to her neck, she's giving me neck. But like, what about the small pee-pee guys? Could I give them frenulum? Roof of mouth, perhaps? Gummit when I'm feeling lazy? But my favorite sex position of all is giving heads, shoulders, knees, and toes, and that was my time. I've been Jordan Phipps. Give it up for Jacob McFadden!
Jordan Phipps, everybody. Jordan Phipps. I'd like to issue a slight correction. I introduced Jordan Phipps as a Nazi. It turns out I have dyslexia. I'm supposed to say she's zany. Z-A-N-I. She's zany. The zany Jordan Phipps. Doesn't care that no one else liked it. The girl sitting next to her laughed at it, so I'm putting that one in the New Yorker. All right, your next comic coming to the stage. He just had a big showcase show at the Black Iris. What a success! This guy is a successful comedian. If you don't say he's good, that's fine. James Copeland.
Energy, James. Energy, James.
Thank you. Energy. That is my comedic styling, everyone. Guys, I was talking to a 20-year-old man the other day. He looked me in the eye and he said, "Hey man, nice haircut." Can you fucking... the gall on that infant. This guy, he has a fucking hairline down to his eyeballs, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, nice haircut, man." Are you fucking kidding me? I haven't had a nice haircut since I was 20, okay? At this point, I only get so-so haircuts. Alright? All my future haircuts, at best, will be fair. In the future, the biggest superlative you will give my haircut is, it's shorter now. That's the best I'm gonna do. All right, thank you guys, thank you. If you were to overhear me say, "I'm going out to get pussy tonight," you'd be like, that guy's a dick. That guy's a fucking sexist scumbag. But then if I tell you that it's date night with my wife, you're like, oh my God, that's a really good guy. He just is really bad at choosing words, you know? So just remember that going forward. I'm actually a good guy, despite all of my words and intentions. I was watching the Olympics last year. You guys like the Olympics? Good. Hot crowd for the Olympics. Anyway, you know, I was watching all these different countries come together, and it really made me realize I don't like when all the races get too close together, you know? Like, I don't think they should have the 100 meters and the mile in the decathlon at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. All right, it's wordplay. Wordplay! Need to work on the wording of the wordplay. Why is it that when women say they're not wearing any panties, it's considered sexy? But when I say it, the Walmart clerk tells me I have to buy the pants I just tried on? Doesn't that seem like a double standard? You're right, it was probably because I was in the children's section. I was on LinkedIn the other day, and I saw a woman I used to work with. I was like, oh, what is she up to? So I checked in on her profile. Retired 8 months. What are you doing on LinkedIn? That's not for you, okay? It's like, I just got married recently. I don't go on Tinder just to see how things are going, right? I just go on LinkedIn and I imagine my life with retired women. All right? That's how I cope. You ever see something wrong around your house and think that your partner did it? Like you see the lights got left on or something like that? You know what I mean? Anyway, like one time this thing happened, I went to my partner, I was like, hey, was that you? And she was like, no, I thought that was you. So anyway, I think somebody's fucking my dog. I am not sure. Can I borrow anyone's Ring camera for a little bit? Another thing happening around the house, I think someone's sharting in my pants. I cannot catch the guy, I swear. Very evasive motherfucker. You guys ever get a, hold on, let me do something else. You guys ever hear that some people look like they're dogs? Anybody hear that? Like after a while? Yeah, anyway, I don't look like my dog. I do look like my dick though. You know, skinny, pale, anemic looking. There's a slouch. Balding. I don't know what's going on down there, folks. Just one more thing. Have you guys ever gotten a text message from Jacob? And you're like, did Jacob just send me a picture of his child's penis? And then Jacob's like, no, that's my penis. And you're like, oh, thank God. Jacob just has a child-sized penis. Let's give it up for Jacob, everybody.
Guys, efficiency is the name of the game. I got 3 kids. Just saying. All right. I know it's hot. Anyways, that was James Copeland, everybody. Musician James Copeland, or as I call him, Ben Folded and Put Away. All right. That works for people over 40, which no one's here because people over 40 are smart enough to be at home. All right. Your next comic. Guys, I know it's hot. I know it's hot. So I'm up here, and all I see is everyone going like, to jokes. Instead of going, just go like a, hoo. Give me like a, hoo. And everyone will feel a lot better. Even this guy just smiled and nodded. Oh, now look at him. Now he's breaking down. Look at him. The Fraggle's falling apart. Come on, just stop holding it in. Let the laugh come out. Make a noise. Good. Voice print it. Send it to the government. We got him. We got him, goddammit. All right. Your next comic coming to the stage, everybody. This guy, newer guy in the scene. What a sensation. Everybody put your hands together for Craig Worthy.
All right, here I go. How's everybody doing? Good. Before I start this set, I just want to update everybody on the Diddy stuff. Y'all know they showing the tape out now to the jurors. Yeah, and the jurors, one juror was like really disturbed. She was like, oh my God. One guy was like, oh, Jesus. Oh. But there's one guy in the jury, he's just like me. He's just sitting there laughing like, oh shit, God damn. I'm like, that's me right there. Just imagine just Meek Mill just sitting up in there, just getting blowjob by Diddy, just fucked up. Just, hold up, wait a minute, that your kid is finished? Okay. All right, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know anything about Detroit, Detroit is the only place in America where somebody could be sitting on the porch and the porch has no house behind it whatsoever. And there's always the same guy sitting on that porch. It'd be the weed man. Weed man just sitting there waiting on you to show up and be like, you straight on weed? Now it's very important to know that my weed man in my mind sounds like Tracy Morgan. You straight on weed? I'm straight on weed, but where your house at? And they never give you a legitimate answer on that house. They always say the same thing. Shit, I gotta do what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? For real, type shit. Shit, hot dogs and hamburgers. Okay. I moved from Detroit and went to Atlanta. When I moved to Atlanta, I noticed something. There's a lot of strong, independent women out there in Atlanta. Strong, independent women. But the one thing I also noticed is they didn't like to shave their beards. I'm like, I'm like, why you got some big hands? And who's your barber? Like, you need to hook me up with that, you know what I'm saying? I hope comedy works out for me, because I'm tired of driving Uber. You know, just a little extra money on the side. I'm tired of doing it. The reason I'm tired of doing it is because I'm always getting hit on. Yeah, I'm always getting hit on. They were like, ooh, what's your sign? Or they say things like, oh, when we go in the bar, you want to come in and have a drink with us? One person noticed I was a little tired while I was driving. They was like, you can go upstairs with us and take a nap. And I'm sitting there like, nah. See, it didn't sound that bad if it was coming from the ladies and not exclusively from all the dudes asking me to go up there. That's a big problem. Don't get me wrong, I do like free drinks and compliments. I'm just letting you know. There's a rumor about men. I'm here to clean this rumor up right here, right now. They say that men don't want to date women with children. That's not true. I'm a glorified stepdad. I love women with children. But men don't want to date ugly women with children. If you're an ugly woman with kids, trust me, we'll just eat all your baby snacks. That's all we're gonna do. Now, if you're a pretty woman with some kids, you ain't even gotta have no problems in life. Nope, your baby daddy can call you with a problem. Like, give me that phone. Hey, look, don't call here no more. This is my family now, you hear me? Okay, Kanye? Calling over here, these problems. It's my family, fam. No, it ain't. It's mine. I'm 41 years old. Yeah, black don't crack, but a certain dude get fat. You do get fat. Yeah, I can't run and do all the stuff that I used to. I don't go outside like I used to. I be falling asleep asking for the salt. Like, can you pass that? Can you pass that? That's salt. Yes, yeah. Shit, I need a nap. Let me go home. Take me a little nap. Because when you young, you gotta stretch out so you don't catch no cramp. When you old, you stretch, you gonna catch a cramp. Just stretching. I was stretching in the bedroom and just fell asleep, and I was like, oh, my damn leg almost fell off. I broke ACL, ATL, I was gone. I was out for a whole week. It's Pride Month. Yeah. We gotta make sure we stop the homophobia in America. We gotta stop it. Gotta stop the homophobia. I'm a straight man, and I get hit with homophobia. Yeah, I be sitting there eating a hot dog. They be like, hey, yo, pause, yo. That's suspect. Why you eating the hot dog the long way? That's sus, bro. I'll be like, I am eating a hot dog. You are imagining a dick going down my throat. That's not the same thing. Besides, I ain't say nothing to you when you had the banana up your ass in the bathroom, now did I? I left that alone. I let you roll. Because I'm not homophobic. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. How much time I got?
Minus 8 seconds. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. All right. Because I had a couple more I was gonna do. I was in the back. My girl called me from jail. Yeah, she got more mugshots than East Coast rapper. The police is my best friend. The police is her personal photographer. That's all I'm saying. This is true. She get out tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'll be hitting that again. She'll be all right. That thing been marinating all week. Like, I'm so sad in here. Don't worry, baby. I got some money on your books. Don't worry. I got you. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, like I said. So I don't like people complaining to me about potholes. Don't complain to me about our potholes got potholes in Detroit. Our potholes so big, you can renovate our potholes. One bed, one bath potholes. Our potholes so big, you can sell drugs out of our potholes. Dude popped out the other day, was like, you straight on weed? Mr. Weed Man, what are you doing in the pothole? Shit, I gotta do what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. Hot dogs and Skittles. Hey, yo, I'm Craig Worthy. Jacob McFadden, thank you.
Craig Worthy, everybody. Keep it up with Craig Worthy. Nothing more convincing than a comic who comes out against homophobia, puts himself in a situation where he's accused of being gay, and is like, yo, pause. Like, Man, what's wrong with you? I ain't doing nothing weird. I hope you got that on video. You grabbed your dick so hard the second you were accused of being gay. It was weird. And also, now I'm not sitting right in my underwear. So, fuck you, Craig Worthy. Your next comic does not give a shit about Pride Month. In fact, hates it. Your next comic told me before the show that pride is a sin and it comes before the fall. Everybody, put your hands together for moral conservative Spencer Conroy.
You saved it! You saved it! Save the soul!
Okay.
Save the soul!
Oh my God.
Save the soul! Woo!
That's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. Scarier than actually coming in front of people to talk to stuff about. Anyways, that's not true. I'm really gay every day, all the time. Even if it's not trans visibility, I am appearing visibly. Anyways, so I've had kind of a busy spring so far. Last week, nothing fun though, no fun spring stuff. Last week I took my granddad to the hospital to get an MRI. My granddad is in a wheelchair and he has an aneurysm, so we are transporting him to doctors often. He is 220 pounds of pure muscle and no balance. Most old men have the decency to shrivel up like a raisin when they lose their mobility, but not him. He is built like a one-legged horse with an aneurysm. So transferring from my granddad from wheelchair to wherever the hell he's going is difficult, and he makes sure of it by every morning stuffing his clothing with loose pieces of hard candy. This is true. So I'll be moving him around and he'll slip through my fingers and all I'm left holding is a handful of Chico sticks. But it got me thinking, as I'm walking through the hospital with him, I'm rolling him and I look down at him and I think, this man is no longer my grandfather. He has become an airline snack cart. And just how interesting would it be to take all the elderly greeters Walmart laid off, to hire them to work on the airlines. They've already got peanuts in their pockets. Just let them block up the middles of airplanes. My granddad would kill. He would love a captive audience. You would just now be sitting to his left because that's the side the stroke hit. He would spill his Coke all over you. But takeoffs and landings would also be fun because the brakes on his wheelchair don't work. So he'd go flying past you and leave a trail of Biscoff cookies and flattened toes in his wake. I think it would save airlines in America. My granddad is also a hustler. I know this because he wears a fedora and he carries a coin purse. And as a child, I liked this. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to have a coin purse. Problem is, I didn't have any coins. So I hosted a lot of lemonade stands. I do this with my hands because I've never sold a goddamn glass of lemonade in my life. What I did though, I would bug my parents. I would try to convince them to support me, but turns out lemonade stands is hard business, especially if you're 7 in the middle of a global recession. My family did not even own a pitcher. If I had asked my mom for a pitcher in 2007, she would have called me a slur. However, she was nice enough to wait until after I came out to do that, though. Also, my family is Southern. They drink a lot of fancy drinks, so I had never actually seen a full lemon in the round in my childhood life. I just assumed that lemons grew along the rims of hot toddies. So now I'm expected, as a 7-year-old, to source about 20 lemons, cut and slice them, and do this all without any adult supervision, without getting a boo-boo. Tough luck. So I had to come up with something new. I had too many knife mishaps. My family wasn't interested in backing my lemon flipping business, so I decided I needed something that was cheap, citrus adjacent, and not noticeable enough to undermine the authenticity of my fraudulent lemon business. Fresca. I went and bought jugs of Fresca, sold them in paper cups, and passed them off as lemonade. My lemonade stand banner read as a kid, citrus adjacent lemon supplement. And this worked great for a while, but eventually they caught on and I lost everything. Yeah, first grade. I mean, it sent me back. So the hardest part for me was the guilt. It ate me up. I couldn't look at my dirty money. I had made 20 whole dollars. So I did what any good 6-year-old would do, and I donated it to some asshole named Katrina who had a rough stay in New Orleans. All right, thank you guys.
Spencer Conroy, everybody! All right, we're going to keep this thing moving right along. Your next comic comes as a rare treat. Recently moved away, but is back now. You'll know him as one half of the legendary co-host of the Basic City Comedy Show. This guy is Monty Giles' writing partner. Everybody, put your hands together for Zac Carpenter!
What's up, yos? My brother just got married recently. I was the best man, so things are going pretty good for me. I noticed they're on a farm. They got married on a farm, and I got to realize what goes on in like a bull's daily life, and I realized bulls have like the coolest lives. They just kind of mosey around, or like bang cows, or like try to fling people off of them. And I was just like trying to like imagine if your life was just like either like just chilling, fucking, or jumping on a trampoline. Basically, I was wondering about that. All right, that's not a good way to hit it off. I saw that dreams, like, you know how dreams have meanings, but it seems like every dream has kind of like the same meaning, you know? Like my teeth fell out in my dream, and then I looked that up, like, what does this mean? And it's like, you probably are facing some kind of problem in your life. And I'm like, yeah, all my teeth are falling out of my fucking head. That's a problem. Let's see. I'm a little crazy. I got one of those mental conditions. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not like I'm like a bipolar person that like cries a lot. Like I disappear for like days at a time without people knowing where I am. And I make, I just make bad decisions. I just make poor decisions. I was like talking to a therapist or whatever, like, why do I keep taking risks and like doing all this stuff? Like, do I have a problem? And they're like, yeah, you might have what they call a borderline personality. I was like, what does that mean? They're like, well, it's like you have a personality, but like barely have any control of it. I was like, so I'm a piece of shit, basically? And they were like, yeah, that's enough. So every time I do something shitty now, I just go like, oh, I have a disease. It's like, you're being an asshole this weekend. You're being a racist, misogynist asshole this weekend, Zach. I was like, don't worry, it was just my disease acting up. I'm a real piece of shit. I got borderline personality or whatever. Anyway, oh yeah, I mentioned, I have like, I don't like Italians. Is there any Italians there? Sorry. I'm not a fan. If you could be racist towards Italians, I would. But I am racist against Italians, I guess. But, my girl, she was like, how are you, like, you can't really be racist against Italians. They're like, they're white, you know what I mean? I was like, babe, Italians are not white. Sorry to say. I mean, look, they make great cinema and good food. They're just slimy people. Have you ever watched one of these movies? I guess there's a reason why in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the police force that helps the bad guy aren't bunny rabbits. You know what I mean? They're fucking weasels. It's because Italians are morally flawed. All right. Let's see what did I do next. Oh, this was making me laugh, but it probably won't make you guys laugh. I was thinking of an Italian character, right? Like in a movie that like lost all of his fingers. Like his name is like Tommy No Thumbs, or Tommy All Thumbs. Like maybe he dropped something one day and they're like, "Oh, you're all thumbs," and then he cut all of his fingers off and went by Tommy All Thumbs. That made me laugh. But not quite as funny as I thought it was going to be here. Let's see. I I have some issues in my past with drug use. When I breathe out of my nose now, basically, I've snorted so many drugs. When I breathe out of my nose now, it's just like Steamboat Willie at the beginning of every Disney movie. But you gotta find God if you're going to get better and get sober. You know what I mean? So I found a God, and thankfully, it's not one of the ones they're beefing right now. I don't follow a brown God. I follow the one true white God, and of course, I am talking about the abominable snowman. Thank you guys. I've been Zac Carpenter.
The abominable snowman, of course, is why Zac had to go to rehab. Way too much snowman, and it's why now I have to drive extra slow on my way home from comedy shows. That's a cocaine joke, everybody. I used to do cocaine with that guy, and now he's getting his life together, and I have to support him, even though it makes my life more boring. All right. Guys, cocaine is... You know what? I'll stop extolling the virtues of cocaine. It's fun. And if this paper doesn't open, I'm going to have to start extolling the virtues of cocaine. Oh, your next comic's cocaine. All right, your next comic. This guy lied about his name before the show started. A real shit move. Your next comic is a duplicitous character, someone you can't trust. And I don't say that based on the way he looks, okay? Your next comic is from New Orleans, a city that is disgusting and festooned with crime. Crime from your next individual, Calvin Sinclair.
Thank you. I've been doing comedy for a while, and I was talking to these other comedians, and sometimes other comedians will tell me that the reason they do comedy is because it's cheaper than therapy. As if doing stand-up was like therapy. Yeah, if your therapist has no idea who you are and they hate your fucking guts. Yeah, but comedy is weird because, if you don't make people laugh, they call it bombing, you know what I mean? But, like, it's kind of like the only thing that you can really bomb at, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be fucked up if you bombed at other things. Like, what if you watched your grandma die in a hospital and she bombed dying? Well, that'd be fucked up, you know? You're like, yeah, I watched my grandma die yesterday. Wasn't that great? She kind of just laid there. I was kind of underwhelmed. She bombed dying. Yep. Yeah, but I watched my grandma die at the hospice center. I like the hospice center because it's one of the only places where you can watch somebody die and you don't have to worry about talking to cops for 10 hours afterwards. But it's weird though, because at the hospice center, they don't do shit for like 3 hours after an old person dies. Like you can sit there and eat chocolates and watch your grandma be dead for like 3 hours. And they'll come in there like every 30 minutes and they'll be like, how's everybody doing in here? You guys want some waffles? You guys having fun watching your grandma decompose? Yeah. All right. That's my hospice skit. I guess it needs work. I was walking down the street the other day. I saw a sign that said, slow deaf child. I thought that was kind of exploitative, you know? It's like it's bad enough the kid's deaf, you know, but why do they have to tell everybody that he's slow, too? It's kind of fucked up. Leave little Johnny alone. Poor kid, man. They don't call me the Pussy King. No, I mean, really, they really don't. All right. There we go. Finally. I crawled through the fucking trenches there to get some laughs from the fucking staircase over there. Finally. Jesus Christ. I think, you know, people like wish they had superpowers. I think it's good that we don't have superpowers because we wouldn't be able to be trusted with them, you know what I mean? Like, what if you had the ability to give somebody AIDS just by looking at them? That'd be fucked up because then you get drunk and you'd just be doing it impulsively, you know? Then the next day you'd be hungover, you have to call people, you know, and apologize. You'd be like, hey, Steve, sorry about last night when I gave you AIDS in the parking lot. That was fucked up, man. I was shit-faced. This is fun, all right. The other day I was standing on the, I was smoking a cigarette outside and a tweaker came up to me and asked me what time it was. Why the fuck does a tweaker need to know what time it is? Are they late for something important? They're fucking tweakers. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, oh fuck! I was supposed to be talking to that invisible man next to the dumpster 30 minutes ago. Shit! Let me grab my briefcase and my suitcase full of syringes and my cardboard. I'm gonna be late. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been doing comedy for a while. It's kind of hit or miss, I guess, you know? It's like, it's kind of like having sex with my girlfriend, you know? It's like some nights I can't satisfy her, no, but then other nights she fucks somebody else. All right, this is my last joke. I was watching porn the other day, and I like internet porn a lot, you know, but some porn like gets on my nerves, you know what I mean? Like they have these videos on, they're called jerk off instruction videos. You guys know what these are? Here's the thing, man, when it comes to jerking off, I don't really need any fucking instruction, okay? I taught myself how to jerk off when I was a young boy, and I was a natural from day one. If you want to educate me, why don't you tell me how to do my fucking taxes or something? Because that's something I need help with. Just like with comedy, too. Okay, well, thank you. Thanks a lot. That was fun. Real fun.
Calvin Spencer, everybody. Keeping over Calvin Spencer. All right. If you like NASCAR, you're going to like your next comic. Your next comic never bombs, but they have crashed and burned quite a bit. Your next comic recently had a bad experience over the Potomac. Everybody put your hands together for former military officer Joe Ellis. Those people didn't deserve it.
This is so short. Hold on. Yeah. Not to me. Sorry. So if you haven't heard the story, that is correct. My name is Joe Ellis. I've served for 16 years in the military as a Black Hawk pilot, but not for much longer because that's not a woo. I don't understand why people woo. Because I'm being fired by the president. He said this month, happy Pride, you're fired. Because I am a tranny, I don't know if you could tell. I was always self-conscious because I thought it was my voice that gave me away. But men that I've been with lately actually said it was my dick. Apparently that's a thing. I'm being kicked out. It's not the only surprise this year. I was also accused of crashing the Black Hawk into the airliner in DC. I don't know if you saw it. It kind of blew up online. Yep, I was the trans terrorist that killed 67 people, including myself. Quite a feat. Obviously not true, but while they were doxing me, they also found out that I'm converting to Judaism. Okay. Yeah, any Jews in here? Haven't you learned not to raise your hand when they ask for Jews? Sorry, I just had to do that one. No, converting to Judaism, my hobby lately, if you haven't noticed, is collecting identities that people hate. I've got trans, I've got Jew-ish, I've got woman-ish, I've got, I'm really into CrossFit, we never shut up about that, so my favorite band is Nickelback. Look at this photograph. No, I won't do that to y'all. But yeah, I was thinking about becoming a vegan. Would that be too much? It'd be like a DEI wet dream, right? Yeah. All right, now I got a bunch of new shit. Dating apps, anyone? Anyone on Hinge? Trying on Hinge? Yeah, they should call that unhinged, right? No? My luck on there, I've got men, women, and bi women, so I've kind of hit the whole spectrum, so let me give you a lowdown. Men. Lots of men in their 40s plus like to hit me up. Some of them have never been married. And I feel like that's a red flag, like more so than a man that's been married, because a divorced man, he maybe learned something, or he at least had the skills to trick a woman into marrying him. A man that's never been married, it's definitely a red flag. He's probably a serial killer. If not a serial killer, about 4 to 6 weeks in is when he tells you about his weird fetish, just casually over dinner. He'd be like, you know, I'd really like it if you would let me suck on your toes while you piss on me. I'm like, what else you got? Then later he told me he was really into role play, and that's when he whipped out Dungeons and Dragons. And fuck it, why don't you just piss on me and I'll suck them toes. All right, my experience with lesbian women has been very interesting. I've been on dates with women who loved that I still had my equipment downstairs, and some that didn't. And that's fine, we all have our preferences, but one girl was a little odd. When we were messing around, she was like, hey, I don't really want to use your dick, and that's fine, I have other skills. But then she handed me a toy and said, you should use this instead. And it was a fucking strap-on. And I was just kind of like, it's a little offensive, because it wasn't a strap-on that had like vibration or lasers or any cool shit. It was as if I had gone in and had my dick made into a strap-on. So I used it and I fucked her. Bi women, any bi women here? Woo! Yeah. I love me some bi women. They say I'm the best of both worlds, and I think you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm emotionally available and I can still open jars. All right, this last one. Because I became famous, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all the fame going viral overnight. So I think I'm going to start my own cryptocurrency. That's the thing to do, right? Like a meme coin? Yeah, I mean, the president's got one. It's got to be legit, right? So we're going to start it together tonight, you and I. Get your digital wallets out and ready. All right, you ready for the reveal? Yeah! This is a prototype. I'm going to call it Black Hawk to a coin. Thank you. I do have stickers with that logo. If you really want one, just come say hi because I need friends and I'll give you a free sticker. Thank you.
Joe Ellis, everybody! You got clot on that tang. That's what she said, the Black Hawk to a lady. All right, even I'm starting to get affected by the heat. Your next comic, everybody, you will recognize this guy from being a great person, a good man, someone who helps you move, someone who, if he knows you're going through a hard time, will text you. He always lends an ear when you're having trouble in the world. A sensitive soul, but also masculine. Very strong, exercises a lot, has a good savings account. Very highly educated, but in a non-conventional way. Aside from that, what else can I say? A considerate lover. I don't know from experience. I'm just what I, or divine from God. Sorry, I'm losing it. And aside from that, I would just say marryable. Everybody, put your hands together for Monty Giles.
That was cool. Hell yeah. Jacob wants to fuck me. That's awesome. I like to start my sets being very vulnerable, so I'm going to tell everyone from the jump I am 5'7", and that's okay with me. Okay, usually there's applause, but that's cool. No! I have to act like I don't want the applause. Hey, is anyone here over 6 foot? See, I knew you were going to say that, but the next part is freak. I yell that, but like I'm not going to. Super freak, hell yeah. Rick James, bitch. Well, there goes that joke. Anyways, I didn't know I was short until I got till I got on a dating app because I was filling out my Hinge, and when it got to my height, I put 5'7", and unprompted, the app was like, not all information has to be public. And I was like, I wonder why it says that, huh? So now on Hinge, I'm 9'5". I just tell people I'm dyslexic in my bio, and then I meet up with them, and they're like, oh, you're not 9, wait, you're not 5'9" either. It's a rough fucking gig. Girls put stupid shit in their Tinder bio, like, I need a man who can get something from the top shelf for me. That's just anyone with arms, babe, I swear to God. And I look fucking adorable when I reach. Watch this shit. Are y'all ready for this? Watch it. Now, ladies, imagine that's me standing under you trying to pull your panties down. Using like a parachute to land safely to my feet. I didn't want to do that whole joke. I'll move on. I got a lot of shit to talk about, bro. Elon Musk sucks. He's fucking up a lot of shit, but I feel like we're not talking about what he's doing to the Latin community because ever since he took over Twitter and changed it to X, you haven't heard shit from Latinx people at all, dude. And that's why you shouldn't have nerds do shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone, like all the Latinas, all the La Machinas, you know what I'm saying? They saw Elon Musk was doing X and they were like, no, because he's a nerd. I'm working on that one, that's fine. Let's see. I'm a small guy, but this pimpin's big. This is big pimpin'. I talked to my sir, right there. Would you like to hear I talk to my bitches? Watch this. All right, here we go. Bitch, please. Try it if you'd like. You're so big. What do you? I bet you don't do anything that needs you to be that big. What's your job? This and that. Cool. He lifts worlds. He holds the world up in the universe. That's cool. I used to fuck this couple, and it was funny because like what I love more than being a unicorn is celebrating love. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to prioritize the relationship. So when I was fucking them, I would give them pop quizzes. You know what I'm saying? So when I was fucking her, I'd be like, "Whose pussy is this?" And she'd be like, "Yours," and I'd be like, "Incorrect." I was in that pussy like a Black Lives Matter rally. I was like, "Say his name." And then he'd try to speak up. I'd be like, this is an A-B conversation. See your way into my ass. We're working on that one. Let's see. I was at my mom's house the other day, and she still has cable, so I was watching cable, and Forrest Gump came on. Who's a fan of Forrest Gump? Shut up. That's a terrible movie. The whole movie is about how a silly-brained white man takes all black people's accomplishments. It makes no fucking sense at all. Like, he taught Elvis how to dance. That's very funny. It's like, oh, sorry, black people, your huge cultural impact on, choreography in this country. No, some retard did it. That's what they said. And it's like, that's why I like Precious. Precious is my shit, you know what I'm saying? Because she takes a bunch of white people's accomplishments, you know what I'm saying? Like familial incest and Down syndrome children. Thank you. It's very funny. I used to run a mic with a soundboard, and that was that. Let's see, I'm good at throwing parties. I throw an excellent party because I pay attention to the details, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always have something on in the background on the TV, and it's either Looney Tunes or To Catch a Predator, you know what I'm saying? Because the key to that, it's that you don't need the sound on to know what's happening, you know what I'm saying? With the Looney Tunes, you know what's happening. He's in trouble, you know what I'm saying? You know who's in trouble and why and what's gonna happen. To Catch a Predator, you don't need sound on. You know someone's in trouble. You know who that is, and you know Chris Hansen will stand for none of it. Cool. I'll leave you guys on this one. I was making love to a woman one time with my fingers. Because I can't say I was fingering a chick. What am I, a high school English teacher? Get real, brother. So I was playing her like Santana plays a sweet guitar, and she looked at me and she said, "Is that all you got?" What? Because it's so funny, because like, what if I would have been like, "No, this is level 1 fingering. The next step, you're a ventriloquist dummy. With a better attitude, I might say." It's crazy, guys. I was going so fucking hard. Like, have you ever been running late to work and you get something from like a soda machine and it steals your change and you're trying to get it back? Me. I was fracking her pussy, I swear to God. I was causing an ecological disaster. I tainted the watershed. I didn't wash my hands. That pussy was so wet, I sold the water rights to Nestle. Yeah, cool. All right, that's been my time. My name is Monty Giles. Thank you so much. Bye.
Monty Giles, everybody. Or not, I guess. Monty Giles, everybody. Come on, he's fingering like Santana. He's hitting up that black magic woman. Huh?
Hey, I'm still...
Until she says, oye, como va. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving, everybody. Your next comic coming to the stage. This is a great guy, a nice guy, a good guy. He's friends with George, and if you know George, you know that's a big deal. Put your hands together for local middling act Prashant Adele. All right, your next comic, everybody, coming to the stage. Everybody put your hands together for Flo.
Oh my God! Jacob McFadden used to roast the shit out of me before bringing me up, and now it's just, hey, Flo, come on up. That's okay. Not during Pride, you're right. I've earned this. It's my birthday. So hey, I'm trying a new strat tonight. I don't know if it's gonna be in the meta yet, but we're trying it out. We're gonna see how it works. Should I put this over here? Normally, I have jokes written on cards. These are them. There you go. If I start not doing so well, just call one out, okay? Oh God, I'm the CEO of a manifestation business. I keep getting in trouble with the vision board. I fucked up recently. Guess what I did? You won't ever guess. 1,000 guesses, you won't. Ready? I'll give you 1,000 guesses. That's guess one. What's guess two? I don't know what's guess. Okay, so I fucked up pretty bad. I made a suicide pact with Schrodinger's cat. And like, I want to do the right thing, but I don't know if he's gone through with it yet or not. That is a physics thought experiment joke. Listen, what else? What else we got going on? People give J.K. Rowling a lot of flack for being transphobic, because she is, and she should get flack for being transphobic. But I don't think she's the most transphobic fantasy figure there is. Case in point, Gandalf. I mean, his most famous line is, "You shall not pass." So that's fucked up. I get you're always on time, but what is that worth? Let's see, what other jokes do I have? I've been thinking about getting top surgery. I'm gonna get my asshole sewn shut. No, it's time. Can you imagine if, what's the guy's name? Mark Twain, fucking Pain and Fitz's, like, what's his name? Huckleberry Finn? Can you imagine if, like, he was tricked into being a top that same way? I think there's something there. There's something there. You know, there's that rule that if you are a cop and somebody asks you, you have to tell them, but there's no rule saying if you're not a cop and somebody asks you, you can't say yes. So I've been impersonating an officer. Been pulling people over for no reason. Shooting dogs. No, that's not true. I euthanized them. Which could still be never. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. What are you holding? What does it say?
Graveyard.
Graveyard? Every shift's a graveyard shift when you work in a graveyard. That's less of a joke and more a declarative statement. Like a really good crossword clue, right? Yeah. Here's something gross about me. I like humidity. Yeah, I like it. I like going outside and feeling a little sticky. I think it's nice. Everyone's always like, oh my God, it's 82 degrees. It's so fucking, it's sticky. It's like, hey, maybe you should get sticky more often. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're trying stuff out. We're working stuff out.
90 degrees.
Please, it's gonna be 91 tomorrow. Guess where I'm gonna be? Out fucking side, taking a long ass walk. I'll end riffing on this, and I'll take thank you, Rubber Band. Thank you so much, JJ Reddick, everybody. So thank you, the one person who likes sports, and it's gonna be relevant to my closing bit here. I'm a gay person who likes sports, and so it never makes sense to me the terms people apply to sexuality, the sports terms people apply. Sometimes when somebody's bisexual, they'll say, oh, they play for both teams. Name one sport where that's allowed. Can you imagine if the Lakers called a timeout and LeBron James was just like, you know what? This other team's got some good-looking players. They got some interesting forms of penetration. I think I'm gonna go play for this other team real quick. There's also, it's probably outdated now, but people used to call like gay male relationships one person's pitcher, one person's catcher, and it's, I hope that's not how the relationship works. Because in baseball, it's always the catcher going, hey, can you give it to me like this? I would really like it if you gave it to me like this. And the pitcher's like, no, not happening. And then the catcher goes, okay, well, if it's not that, I guess I'll go for this, if we could go for that. Pitcher's like, no, one more time. You get one more chance. Otherwise, I'm just throwing whatever I want. And catcher goes, okay, well, I figured this is what you wanted the whole time, but I guess, you know, this is the relationship. And pitcher goes, you're goddamn right it is. All right, that's my time.
Keep it over flow, everybody. Keep it over flow. All right, I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to call your next performer's name so he remembers that he's next. And oh, there he is. Never mind. Okay, we're good. All right. All right. I got a guy who lives 2 doors up from me. He's a canine cop, and he brings his dog home every day, and then he walks him through the neighborhood with no leash. And then sometimes I'm out walking my dog when he gets home with his dog, and they're outside, and my dog starts pulling at his leash and barking at that dog, and I'm like, fucking chill, dude. That's a class 4 felony. That's assaulting an officer. You better fucking relax, you know? All right, I forgot that it's the summer and we're cool with assaulting police officers. That's all right, Trump will pardon us for doing it. Your next comic coming to the stage, this guy saw Prashant doing comedy. Didn't even see Prashant doing comedy, just heard Prashant was gonna do comedy. He's like, I got this. So everybody, put your hands together for a rando from the bar. It's George!
Dude, I just found out some chick told me out front that pineapple means like older swinger people.
Yeah, it does.
Seriously?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I wore this to my daughter's like 6th birthday. Dude, why pineapple? Like, what does that have to do with fucking sexual diseases? Like, what is... Nobody knows why pineapple? Okay, I thought someone would know. Yeah, I haven't done comedy in a long time. I just moved from California. Right? Fuck yeah. I used to think I knew what weather was, but when I came out here, I'm like, it's raining. They're like, this ain't rain. Man, last year we had rain. I'm like, it's fucking raining, dude. It's raining pretty good right now. I just turned 50. Thank you. Like April, what month are we in? June? Something like that. Dude, I just want to get old enough to where I don't want to jerk off anymore. Seriously, like the older you get, jerking off is so depressing, dude. You don't feel good afterward. You feel fucking horrible. If you have a kid, you feel even worse, dude. Because you're in a bathroom, there's like fucking toys in the bathtub and shit, dude. It's just fucking the worst. You always feel guilty. And you have to like schedule it now. Like, okay, I got the house to myself, she's at daycare, like, it's the worst. When you're a kid, jerking, you like, look, I couldn't wait to get home from school. Go jerk off. 'Cause you're not getting sex, but when you're older, you can get sex. So I just want to get old enough to where jerking off has no value at all. Now it's like, kind of changing the oil, you have to kind of do it. It's like a chore though. So I don't find any pleasure in it. All right, let me see. Did you ever notice that France is the only country you can put in front of something and it makes it better? Like French toast, French kiss, French maid. Somebody name a country. Bulgarian toast, dude. That's fucking disgusting, dude. It's probably got like snails on it and shit, dude. Another country. A Turkish kiss. It's probably with a dude with a mustache and a unibrow. Okay, one more country. Egypt. An Egyptian kiss. It's probably got sand in it. Egyptian maid. One more country. Anyone, come on, throw a country. Iran. An Iranian kiss? Nah, good, dude, you're all covered up. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, does anybody else wonder what someone with one foot does with the other shoe? Does anybody wonder that? You can only buy pairs of shoes. What do they do with the other shoe? I like to think that the internet made it possible for amputees to meet up and exchange socks and gloves and shoes. And if I ever get any money, I'm going to open a store for amputees. I'm going to call it half off. Half away. Let me think, what else we got here? Okay, going better than I thought. Oh, my Uber driver today over here told me that he used to be a chick. And I was like, dang, talk about transportation. And he was from the Philippines, so it was like transatlantic. His car didn't sound good. I was like, I think that's your transmission, dude. Let me think, what else? Oh, does anybody else think that radio DJs sound like Dracula? Radio 9.3. All right. Oh, I found out my grandpa's taking Viagra. Yeah, he had his birthday a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, what are you doing today? He goes, you know, taking a blue pill. I was like, I thought it was heart medication or something. And come to find out, he's been taking Viagra for like 4 years. And he does it on his birthday and on New Year's. And apparently on New Year's it's for his chick, not him. But I love that when I ask him what he's doing, he goes, he relates everything to mechanics. He's like, oh, I let her, you know, lift up the hood, check the fluids. He's an old mechanic. Let me think. I feel like there's a lot of racial tension right now. I feel like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys are probably going to get the worst of it when the race war actually happens. I'm probably going to be like the next slave. Because, I mean, come on, think about it. You think of Whitey.
You're gonna like it.
I'm fucking done. That's why I have a Mexican daughter. I got grandfathered in. My daughter's half Mexican. Is anybody else in an abusive relationship? I mean, have a Mexican, All right, you guys, thanks, man.
George, everybody. George. Oh, way better than I thought. George. My God, announced he's 50 and then said his grandfather's taking Viagra. That's so hard. How does he chew it 6 feet under the ground? That's incredible. How old is your grandfather?
92.
Wow. What war did he serve in? He's a coward. Okay. He's a coward that still gets pussy. Life's not fair. By the way, of course, we all know that an Egyptian kiss is right on the camel toe, so that one's actually pretty sweet. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Yeah, you should have, because that's I see him in I saw an Indiana Jones movie once. They're on camels. I don't know. All right, Let's keep this thing moving, everybody. Here, next comic, everybody, put your hands together. This guy comes here all the way from Egypt, I think. He's never made it clear, but he's definitely not from Atlanta, and everyone should stop saying he is. It's Louie Carroll. Not from Atlanta.
Home sweet home. So I am not from Egypt. I've known Jacob for 3 years, by the way. 3 years. Where am I from, Jacob?
I don't have a passport. What the fuck do I know?
I fucking hate him.
Haiti, Somalia, Nicaragua, Russia.
Correct.
Ukraine.
Correct. Home sweet home. I'm so happy to be here. How you guys doing? Give it up for George. Oh my God, he's fucking funny. Give it up for George. God, when he was like talking, I was like, God, he sounds like Bill and Ted. This is awesome. This is awesome. These strange things are food at the Circle K. That's a Bill and Ted reference anyway. Getting sent a dick pic randomly sucks, right? Yeah? You all agree on that, right? Unless you're from the Middle Ages, right? Dick pic by Raven, right? Dick pic by Raven, come on, right? Right? You draw your dick on a piece of paper and you roll it up like a treaty or something, right? And then caca, and then you fly to a stranger, right? Dick pic by Raven. Still working on that one. You know what job I'd hate? Car salesman. I don't have the skills for that. I don't. But some cars sell themselves, right? Like the ice cream truck. Did you know that if you got into a car accident and the ice cream truck caught on fire, the ice cream will melt and put out the fire? Really is a magical truck, right? That's a new joke. Alright, the next one is a little rough, alright, so stay with me. School shootings are terrible, right? Right? Probably the worst crime, right? But what if archery was involved like the Olympics, right? This is a stick-up. Put that apple you got from lunch on your head, right? And then you're like, and then you dread your blindfolds, right? Another new joke. I got a bunch of them. Somebody said that was fun. Fuck yeah. Writing a suicide note is dark, right? Like super dark. Unless you fold it into an origami swan, right? Right? Then it's kind of poetic, you know? You didn't jump off the balcony. You flew like a swan, right? I feel like I'm mumbling, you know? What else do I want to walk on? I don't like Santa. Wow. See? Right? Yes. Like, I don't like Santa Claus. Come on. You know why I don't like him? Because he gives white, privileged kids gifts. Yes, thank you. She agrees with me. Exactly. It's fucking. He's a creep, right? Why don't you do some actual good deeds, right? Like fly some immigrants over the border or something, right? He knows Santa can beat ice. He trained at the North Pole. Come on. That's where his HQ is. Anybody here adopted? You really? You adopted? No? Thank you for the audience of it. Liar! There's always a heartwarming getting adopted story, right? But what's the cool getting adopted story, like in the movies, you know? Where you like get dropped at somebody's doorstep. Well, that, exactly. Where's the Superman story? Where you come from another planet and fucking live in a farm when you have superpowers or something. Anyway, back to the joke I was about to tell. Where's was a cool getting adopted story where you could like get dropped off at somebody's doorstep, right? And get kidnapped by porch pirates. Like, where's that story? Right? And they don't tell you until your birthday for some reason. I want to see that story. And that's been my time. Give it up for Jacob McFadden.
Louie Carroll, everybody. I just caught the end of his set, and I've known him for 3 years, and I can say with confidence that he's from Krypton. Yeah. Krypton, right? Yeah.
He knows now.
Yeah. No, I know. You're from Italy. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Your next comic wasn't supposed to be on the show tonight, and then I said, I got a spot. You want a spot? And he said, yeah, if I'm still around. And then I wrote him down anyways because I was desperate to meet my time commitment. Everybody, put your hands together for the non-committal, Aaron Sparrow.
How's it going, everybody? I have to play gymnastics with this thing. But yeah, I go by the name of J. The host called me Aaron. That's why Jacob called me Aaron. So I have some thought-provoking little questions that I came up with. So I'm gonna do things a little differently. To everybody, I want y'all to think about it. Is there more truth told in comedy or in church? Anybody know? Comedy, probably church. What if I tell you it's both? Anybody know what Jesus' greatest miracle was? It wasn't feeding the 500. It wasn't rising from the dead.
Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's not bad, but it was actually having 12 loyal friends. Hey, you got more than 12 loyal friends, I'm trying to tell you. It only was 11. The next one is, if Mexicans work so hard, why don't they have more celebrities? Yeah, it's supposed to be internal laughs. Yep, not out loud laughs. That's the whole point of it. Yeah, I know they got the war going on. The war kind of reminds me of Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef. I can't tell what side everybody's on until the final bomb is dropped. Yeah, I know. He does a deep one. Yeah, I know. A minor bomb. What's the last one I had? Oh man, I can't think about it. But anyway, growing up, believe it or not, I wanted to be like a celebrity. I wanted like the fancy jewels, the cars, the clothes, the hoes. But I always wanted to be like that guy. But I wanted to be like the guy that's behind the guy, that's behind the guy, that's behind the guy, just like Diddy. But it turns out he really was the guy that was behind the guy, that was behind the guy. Wow, that's it. Y'all must not know see, I already know. See, white people, black people already know. We already knew something was wrong with Diddy. Because none of us black people went into spelling bees. And when you know I didn't like Diddy, we had that one song called Pastor Cavassier. Anybody can spell Cavassier? That's what I thought. Come on, nobody? Oh man. So yeah, but it's been hard out here. But for me, dating's been a little bit tough. But it's pretty much because like me trying to be a celebrity, me dating. But it's really because I got this rare condition. It's called being a designated fat ass, the DFA. So everywhere I go, I'm just fat. I was just so fat I couldn't get kidnapped. Nobody had those fat problems. That's what happens when you guys eat too much vegetables and like I eat all the cake and then all the other girls or guys get kidnapped. So it's been crazy out here. Man, give it up, Richmond. Y'all seem so dead today. I know it's hard in here. I know we don't really have anything to celebrate except, you know, how dangerous Richmond used to be. Everybody gets more shout outs, even Richmond, California. So, but yeah, it's crazy out here. I don't know what we gotta do. What is there to do out in Richmond? Anybody know? Damn, we suck. That's why nobody cares about coming here. But yeah, dating for me has been kind of rough. You know, I'll be on the apps. I swipe. I see the girl, kind of looks like a guy. Go to the other side. You know, gotta mix it up sometimes. But my other problem is dating is crazy now because back in the day, girls used to lead with a hi or hello. Now it's, hey, this is my Cash App. This is my OnlyFans. Can you please subscribe? Wow, oh my gosh, y'all not familiar with OnlyFans?
I have one.
You have one? Okay, that's how you make the money all these days. That's how you make the money. But even with celebrities, I remember we got some good ones. We got Jay-Z, we got Kanye, and I know sometimes it's tough. We try with him, we try. But we got one of the best ones. His name is Elon Musk. Yeah, he's one of the best black guys ever. Come on, that's not the first black guy to fuck up a job. He's got tons of baby mamas. He can't figure out how to do his job. Gets fired by Trump. Everybody's got fired by Trump. Everybody's black now. It's crazy, right? Black Lives Matter. But I don't have that much time left, but I think that's the end of my show. But here you go. Back to Jacob.
Aaron Sparrow, everybody. Keep it going, Aaron Sparrow. This is true. Like 3 years ago, we had a girl come up, and she started to say to me, like, and yeah, if you recognize me, I'm on OnlyFans. And then she gave her username, and then she said, this is my first set, and not a single soul in the building listened to a word she said. Everyone was on their phone, pulling out the credit cards. And she messaged me 2 days later on Instagram. Delete that. Be like, I can't believe it went so bad. And I was like, yeah, well, I personally was watching you get fisted in your asshole during your set, so that does take away from your jokes about everyday life. So if anyone here is thinking about doing that, don't. It's distracting. What a terrible story to intro your next comic, because that is exactly what he does. Your next comic, you might recognize him. He's a digital content creator. Ignore the fact that he smells like deli meats. Everybody put your hands together for Danny McCabe.
Yeah, what the hell was up with that story? Who the fuck tells jokes about everyday life and gets fisted on stage at the same time? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's right, guys. I smell really bad. Don't worry. There's a reason for it. I work in a smelly place. I love it. I love it. It's like you get covered in shit, and you always smell, and there's always shit to pick up. Like being a line cook is a lot like being a garbage man, except you get to eat the garbage. If you're a garbage man, don't eat garbage. I learned the hard way. Garbage is disgusting. Cheer for that. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. You guys ever heard of what like a one checker is, right? Like you ever worked with a one checker? It's usually when like someone like hires someone pretty sketchy, like think like, you know, some crackhead type, and they like try to get themselves injured on the job and like, or they'll only work like for like one paycheck. I experienced my first one of those yesterday. This guy's like, yeah, man, I used to be a sous chef down at this one place, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. And he goes, yo, man, how the fuck do you make an Italian sandwich? And I was like, what the fuck? No, what makes it even crazier is like, it's like 7:30. It's like, it was last night, it was fucking dead. This guy's like carrying pots, and like, he was okay, I don't really care, we're gonna make fun of this. But like, he was carrying pots in kind of like a cartoon, like there was a banana peel on the floor. He just goes, like, swips up, right? And he lands on his fucking hand. So the next thing I see, he pops back up. Keep in mind, he's been complaining about like everything all day. This fucking like bone is sticking out of his hand, right? Yeah. And like there's just this gash here, there's like blood everywhere. He goes, man, I'm sorry, dude, I gotta get out of here. He's like, oh man, like I got my buddy, like he's gonna drive me to the ER, I think. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, do you guys think you'd be okay? We're like, yes, get off my line, you are bleeding. We serve this food to people. Oh, yes, that is not a blood orange reduction on that. No, that is crackhead blood. Take that, Churchill. That's what you get for gentrifying. For every neighborhood that gets gentrified, the blood of crackheads is served in your $13 tacos. And that sign that says, feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty and kick out the poor. Thank you. Guys, I need a new job. Is that pretty apparent? I need a new job. I've been looking for a new job. I tried starting my own photography company, right? We were gonna take yearbook photos and school photos, but the LLC did not pan out. No one wants to hire school shooters. It's bad enough a guy like me shows up to an elementary school. I say, hi, I'm here with the shooters. They're like, lock down, lock down. I go, no, that's my cousin. I'm not on any watch list. All right, yeah, power of not having glasses anymore. Whoa. No, there was other jobs I was going for. I got paid to hide in a ghillie suit in the bushes and scare landscapers. It was a really fun gig. I got fired because Juan from All-in-One Towing had to blab his big mouth. But there's nothing funnier, like, they're trimming the hedges and you're like, ah! Like, it's a lot of fun. My dream job, I had it for a while. I was the spokesperson for an infomercial for a pocket pussy. Thank you. But not just any pocket pussy, ladies and gentlemen. No, this pocket pussy here had J.D. Vance's face on it. It was targeted specifically to MAGA Republicans. Once you did your business with the pocket pussy, after 2 minutes it would say, I didn't hear you say thank you yet. Cum dribbling down his baby-faced chin. That's right, there's a visual. All right, guys, I'll leave you all on one last one here. I went to the Frida Kahlo exhibit this weekend. Yeah, it was very informative. It was really cool. Like, I'm an artist. Like, it's really cool to see other artists. I love when they come to the VMFA and you get to see their collections. But, like, I couldn't help but think that, like, this, like, chronically ill, like, bisexual, like, tortured artist. Like, I was like, why do I feel so connected to her? Bitch, she's a VCU girl. Multiple partners, cheating on her main one. I'm an artist, I can't get out of bed today. My God, you live in the fucking Ram building. I don't even remember the names at VCU. That's how irrelevant it is. And I went to school there. Go Rams. All right, guys.
Danny, do your precious joke.
My precious joke?
Come on.
So, Jacob McFadden, you guys may not know this about him. He actually wrote the book Precious is based off of.
He's Sapphire.
Yeah, he's Sapphire.
It's called Push, you ignorant.
Yeah, he was like, there's only one person I want that big girl to eat out and be her mother at the same time. And he said Monique. Really? Yes, that Jacob McFadden said that on the last Home Sweet Home. And that's the truth of it. But I don't understand what's so precious about her. I mean, come on. Haven't we all fucked our dad? Okay. Happy Father's Day. My name's been Danny McCabe.
I hated that. That was a horrible way to end a set, and you should never do that again. All right, everybody, that was Danny McCabe ruining an otherwise decent performance. All right, everybody, we are down to our final two performances of the night. And tonight, you have got some superstars to close this show out. You will recognize these two as the host of the Whites Only comedy performance space at Vossen Brewing Company. It's called Sweet Talk. If that means something besides Whites Only, I don't know what it could mean. Everybody, put your hands together for the leader of the least diverse mic in the city. Everybody start clapping now for Mr. Sam Nelson.
Oh, fuck! I'm a white open mic comic! Who's Diddy? What's going on? What the hell is OnlyFans? Do I have to fuck my dad?
All right. Is George still here? Yeah, awesome. This is great. George said that jacking off is like changing your oil. He's absolutely correct. It's the same for me. I don't trust myself to do it, but the mechanic really does a great job. Yeah, your granddad gives a killer hand job, George.
91-year-old hand on your dick.
Yeah, dude, it's disgusting. This is. Have you? Oh yeah. This is.
Yeah, that's fucking gross.
Yeah, dude. I have to. Oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm white too. Boo. Let's get something going. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking who cares? I don't think I would be a good child African soldier. This is. If the warlord made me murder my parents with a rifle, I would be so grounded. Awesome. Do we have any babies up here? Yeah, we got one. A lot of people think that babies like jingling keys because of the sound and how it looks, but they're just really excited to start drunk driving. Thanks. So Flo just made a really great noise there that indicated she really liked this one. Sorry. Child soldier, babies. Do you guys think that Chris and Peter are nice to Meg at rehearsal? Or do you think that animosity is real? This is, yeah, Family Guy, dude. Awesome. Dude, you know Peter from Family Guy? Yeah, dude. He's fat as hell, ain't he? Yep. And where's he from? Where's he from? Quahog. Quahog, yep, yep. Clap it up for Quahog, guys. Please. Thank you. What's going on with the baby from Family Guy? Huh? What? He's British, he's evil, and he's gay? What the hell? What the hell's going on with the baby from Family Guy? Fuck you people.
Speak on it.
I'm speaking truth to power.
His name's Stewie.
Okay, his name's Stewie. Yeah, fuck that guy. I think that hunting is pointless. You actually don't even need to buy a gun to hang out with your friends and cover each other in deer piss. Cool. Do you guys think that Buffalo Bill only kills and skins white people, or are we gonna have to cancel this guy? Awesome. How much time do I have left? What's going on with Quagmire from Family Guy, dude? What the hell? He's got a big chin and he does weird things to girls. You know? That's not cool. Can we please boo Glenn Quagmire right now? Wow. You know, Silver, it says a lot. We're here in Richmond, Virginia, and what are they doing? They're booing a veteran. Wow. Says a lot, doesn't it? I actually don't know if he was a veteran. Do you remember? Or was it his dad that was a pilot?
He's a pilot.
Here, he's a pilot, but his dad was a Japanese pilot.
Something like that.
Okay, so let's get that on the record.
Also, do you know about
Yeah.
His dad is a trans pilot who
His-
was born here earlier tonight.
Joe Ellis is the mother of Glenn Quagmire, is what we've learned. What's going on? What's going on with Cleveland from Family Guy?
Talk about Joe.
Okay. You know what his deal is. How about those legs? Not so good on him, huh? Awesome. This is Charlie, you got anything to say about Joe from Family Guy?
Oh, hey, how come his legs don't work? What the fuck?
What the fuck? Thanks everybody. I've been Chris from Family Guy.
Transphobic, whites-only comedian Sam Nelson, everybody. Give him another round of applause. during Pride Month. Wow. Are you guys having a good time? We're having a good time. We only have one comic left, and then it's been suggested to me that we do an improv game here sometimes where people tell dirty jokes based on audience suggestions. Would you guys be interested in that? For a couple minutes? Okay. Fuck. All right, then I guess we'll do it. Before that, your next comic is the other half of the Sweet Talk Whites Only show. But this is the guy who wants diversity. Okay? Yeah, no, he asked if guys who play board games could perform there too. So he really wants to expand the lineup. Everybody put your hands together for Blake Carlson.
I said we need more than just white guys behind a mic. We need Magic players, and we got them every single first and third Wednesday. I would also like a 91-year-old man's hands on my penis. Yeah. But mouths, I find, are eternally youthful, so. Absolutely. Yep.
Fucking think about it.
Think about it. Oh, I'm thinking about it. He takes him out. I make him. It was election day today, and I found myself in my local polling place. I was at an elementary school, and I was looking at my phone as I was walking in. The guy goes, "Okay, it's through those doors, down the hallway." I look up from my phone. There's 3 hallways. And I was like, I can figure this out. I'm gonna follow the sound. Okay, you just follow the sound to where people are. I ended up in 2 different 3rd grade classrooms. And at that point, I decided I was unfit to vote and just left the whole scenario. And I just drove home. Is it too late to mail in? I went to a hot dog place after that, pretty defeated. But it was this Christian hot dog place, which, you know, I was also a little confused. On the front it said, Jesus Christ 24, only he can save us now. And I go in, and right by the register, there's like a prayer list. You can write down whatever you're, you know, hoping, wishing, praying for. So I just wrote down Blake Carlson, more hot dogs, please.
What was it called?
It's called Joey's.
Hilarious.
Oh, one for Blake. Yeah. Sam, I'm upset you didn't do your stuck porn joke. I love your stuck porn joke. It's, well, because, I mean, so Sam taught me about stuck porn a little bit ago. He is an educator, he really is. This guy, quick as a whip. And so it's actually gotten me doing some research of my own into this stuck porn thing. And, you know, Sam, he's a big fan of it. Me, I like one video. I found one video I like. It took hours and hours of searching, and it's a very specific niche version of stuck porn. So she looks like a rock. And his penis looks like a sword. And he gets stuck in her, right? And then all of the men in their village come by and have a tug at his hips. And he's freaking out the whole time. That's really my favorite part, is him just, help! Me tallywhacker's caught in a fanny! Sorry. If that was too Elizabethan, I apologize. Help. Me tallywhacker's caught in her fanny. I just have to subtitle it in case, you know. It was a very convincing accent. I went to drama school. I didn't attend, I just toured. I love the phrase baby on board. Like, I love it. Yes. I love the phrase baby on board so much I've started using it in my daily life. Like when I agree with something, it's an affirmative, right? Like shots at 11 a.m.? Baby on board, all right? Hell yeah. Your barbershop quartet needs a soprano? Baby on board. You want me to help you move? Baby not on board, I'm sorry. Baby off. You want me to text my mom the C word? Okay, baby on board, all right. Happy Father's Day! He told me to tell you this. It was my dad, he dared me. Let's see. Mouths are eternally youthful, that's great. Let's see. I hate mantras. Okay, I know we're like in the 21st century, mantras are huge, you know, you look in the mirror, you're like, I love you, you're awesome, you're funny, you kill it. I hate mantras, they do nothing for me, okay? Instead, I have an imaginary friend who fucking hates me. And that's working out pretty well so far. Because his name is Mark, actually, and he challenges me to hustle harder. He's like texting me all the time. He texts me pictures of like little dicks, right? And he's like, if your passion had a dick, it would be this little dick. And that inspires me, it really does. He's always gonna be texting pictures of like an asshole. And he's like, if your passion had a home, it would be inside my asshole. It's his dick and his asshole. He's just texting me pictures over and over. Let me, get out of here after this. So let me close Home Sweet Home. Or actually, we're doing improv games, so it doesn't, yeah. Family Guy. Hey, I've been working on a joke about Joe, but I'm not sure it has any legs. All right. I have been Blake Carlson, your opener for improv. Stick around. Give it up for Jacob McFadden.
Your opener for improv makes me want to cancel the whole thing, just so we're clear. All right, anyone who wants to come up and do this, any of the performers, this is a very simple game. It just gets people to tell dirty jokes. It's called Sex With Me Is Like. We'll take people in the audience, you yell out a suggestion, and then the comics give a punchline. Sex With Me is like someone say something.
Come on, Rami. Come on, Rami.
Okay, that's him forcing a local business owner up to the stage.
U.S. veteran, ladies and gentlemen. This guy fought for our fucking country. This guy right here.
I actually kind of love this idea where I don't let any performers come up and just bully Rami into doing it a bunch. All right, Rami, here's how we're... No, Rami, you gotta stay.
Get the girl with the fringe. She's been laughing at all the good jokes tonight. Come on, get up here, get up here.
Nah. Hold on. So I didn't. All right. So I think Prashant is the one who wanted me to do this, and then he's not coming up. So fuck you, Prashant. Get up here. God damn it. Pretend the microphone doesn't work, and now you're obligated to be here. All right. We need a suggestion. Flo was trying so hard.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, go ahead, Flo.
Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool.
Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. No matter how hard you try, you're going to get a little pee on you.
I'm signing.
Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. There's band-aids and dead frogs everywhere.
Having sex with me is like swimming in a pool. If you've had diarrhea within 2 weeks, do not go swimming.
Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. If enough adults complain, I'll make the children leave.
Come on, Prashant, do a thing about how you fuck children.
Sex with me is... wait, what's the premise again?
Public pool.
Oh, sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. It's always dirty.
Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. You can't hide that you're wet. Whoa, that was a good one! No.
This guy, he's his own hype man, and I love it. Sex with me is like swimming in a public pool. You will require a professional to check your pH levels afterwards. Let's get a new suggestion, everybody.
Come on, grocery store.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. I know that Rami, was it? Rami? Rami has one for grocery store.
He's ready. Come on, Rami.
It's really sad.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. There's always an old person checking my pockets on the way out.
Oh, wait, I got one. Sex with me is like a grocery store. I prefer self-checkout.
Hey.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. I keep running into my mom's friends.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. I have a lot of stuff to get rid of, so if you buy one, I will give you 2 for free.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. You think I'm here to fuck you, but I'm actually robbing you.
A thinker. That's a thinker.
Sex with me is like a grocery store. Tips are not accepted. Let's get another suggestion.
Frankenstein.
Rubber dog. Rubber dog.
Sex with me is like Frankenstein. She's dead.
Oh no.
Should have listened.
Sex with me is like Frankenstein. I have a little deformed person to be my assistant.
Sex with me is like Frankenstein. You're gonna need lightning and a lot of stitches.
What the fuck?
Sex with me is like Frankenstein. You'll be strapped to a table and resisting as soon as it begins.
Sex with... Go ahead.
Sex with me is like Frankenstein. The whole village is upset about it.
Hell yeah. Sex with me is like Frankenstein. It's an affront to God.
All right, any other suggestions, or we can stop this?
Dracula.
Someone who's not a comic who's choosing not to participate. How about someone who's an audience member that looks like they're being held captive? I'm gonna count down from 3. 3, 2.
Going to the beach.
God damn it. Sex with me is like, no, you fucking walk back up here, George. Sex with me is like going to the beach. You'll get a little sand in there, but if you leave it a while, you'll have a pearl.
I have 3 children.
Sex with me is like going to the beach. My biggest fear is always crabs.
Sex with me is like going to the beach. The scariest thing is taking my shirt off.
Sex with me is like going to the beach. I would do it more often, but the traffic, ugh.
Sex with me is like going to the beach. When I get in too deep, someone blows a whistle and says, "Get back over here!" Lifeguards.
You got it. Come on, Remy.
Sex with me is like going to the beach. It's really fun.
There you go, everybody. Simplicity is what it's all about. This has been Comedy from Home Sweet Home.